Introducing Tony and Other People, a podcast. Here's your host, Tony Levesque.
Yeah, got my first guest. This is my very first episode. I guess it's ours because You're here too.
Yeah.
Doug Hoch.
It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Glad to be here, Mr. Levesque, my old buddy.
You've been to the house a few times.
Yeah.
Not since I made this room into a whatever it is now.
Yeah.
We call it the Christmas room.
Christmas room with a little touch of Beatles.
Yeah. That's what the wife said the other day.
Not the Beatles that fly. And
I put some, because right behind me I got the Beatles record, the Yesterday and Today record, which is the Butcher Shop album.
Yeah.
So I got a little section here, and the wife bought me some Beatles Matchbox cars.
I think when I was a kid, I think we used that as a target once.
The record?
Yeah.
I hate you.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I put the little Beatles section. She goes, "Oh, this is another Beatles room for you," but it's not.
Well, it's who you are.
Yeah.
You're a.
This is the Christmas room, though. This is the room that we
Beatles
put
guy.
the Christmas tree up in because we can close the doors with the two cats.
Yeah, I guess it was the last time I was here.
What, Christmas?
No, I mean, you had
Morning?
the Christmas tree.
Peeking
once.
in the window.
Yes, when I drove by slowly.
So I was going to introduce you as the one and only Doug Hoch, but that's not true.
That's it.
There are other Doug Hochs.
Yes, and
So I'll introduce you as the best Doug Hoch
Oh, cool.
that I know.
Yeah.
There might be other ones out there. I don't know.
I'm sure there's some cool Doug Hodges out there. Doug Hoch.
So we've discussed this a few times. How do you actually say your last name?
Well, here in Lewis County, we say Ho. But everywhere else I travel in the world, I usually say Hoch or Hoch.
Now, is that because you...
Because as soon as you tell somebody your name is Doug Ho, their mind, for some reason, transform into this... They can't get away from it. They have to go right to the Ho part. No matter what. They look at you funny and, he's a Ho. Yes, I'm a Ho.
So, historically, how is it pronounced? Or don't you know?
In German, it's pronounced Hoch. Hoch.
Hoch.
Yep. Like,
But you tell people that here, and they're
Spit.
like, "Nah, I'm just going to call you Doug Hoch."
yeah.
Okay. German?
We.
Very German.
Yes. Hi. Yes.
Si, senor.
Niet. No.
So you
Yes.
grew up in Lewis County?
Yep. Beaver Falls.
Born and raised.
I was actually. My parents lived on this same road here, on the East Road here,
Really?
and I was probably a couple miles that way.
Really?
It's a house where I was.
Before it crosses 410?
No, after actually.
After? Okay.
Yeah. So it's about the second or third house on the right, little tiny thing right near the road.
Past Dr. Sam's?
I don't know where that is.
Or not Dr. Sam's, whatever the...
It's not far after you cross 410.
Okay. That's where Heather's grandparents live.
Yep. It's got a huge maple tree out in front.
That's
Definitely,
an old road.
it's a 100-year-old tree.
Well, it used to be the old state road?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I just had some videos and pictures when I was a little baby in a stroller out there by the road. It's pretty cool. This road right there.
Yeah.
That was 55 years ago.
55. You're 55.
55 years young, speed limit.
And you don't have a job,
No,
technically.
I haven't had a job in more than 30 years. I just do what I love to do.
You're just a full-time
Paint, draw.
artist.
Some days I do murals. Some days, like today, I got a couple tattoos later today. Some days I clean house.
You get
Whatever I
paid
feel
for
like
that?
doing, I guess.
Yeah. So you've done tattoos for what? 4 or 5 years now?
No, I think about 6.
6. Okay.
2010, 11.
How'd you get started with that?
I was at a car show in Massachusetts, and
You go to those a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I used to. Not as much anymore.
Is it the same car show, or just there's a bunch there
I just go to like 5 or 6 cool ones throughout the East Coast.
with all the rockabilly bands? And
Yeah, which
I got to go with you to one of those.
yeah.
Well,
I'm a
maybe
big
not if
fan.
you're not into it anymore.
No, I'm into it. The rockabilly thing though gets kind of. I love rockabilly, but
It's just the same old thing.
kind of.
Yeah.
The guy in the bass who's absolutely incredible, standing on it doing handstands, playing it. But I go to the car shows to see the cool cars, and that's what got me started when I was a little kid. That started drawing and painting was drawing these little hot rod things, like the Rat Fink and back of old hot rod magazines. I couldn't wait to get the next month so I could look at those pictures and I would copy them.
Cool.
So it taught me how to draw like monsters and stuff and crazy, distorted, which I still do.
Yeah. Did you have any tattoos when you started doing tattoos?
Nope.
No.
I actually didn't even want to get any tattoos, but Jerome Swanson, who I apprenticed with, insisted that I get one.
Just so that you didn't look like a
like
fraud.
Plus, if you know how it feels, it's easier to tell somebody that you're tattooing. It doesn't hurt that bad there. You can just show them.
Or lie to them.
Or lie to them, which is a lot. Some people can take it, some people can't. It's just.
Do you enjoy doing it?
Yeah. It's it's another creative outlet.
Right.
Just like everything else.
Is it more backbreaking than a lot of the other art you do?
No.
No.
The only thing different is you're controlled. It's controlled. The speed of it is controlled. And I'm an artist that's been blessed or whatever with super speed. I could paint a whole room in a couple hours.
Right.
Detailed. But when you're tattooing, you have to do the opposite. You can only go one speed.
But at the same time, you can't do it nice and slow and come back an hour later and throw a little bit here, a little bit there.
Right.
Oh, that doesn't look right.
They got to wait like 3 weeks and come back.
Right.
A lot of people don't ever come back because they
like
the way it is, and they're like, oh man, it hurt or whatever.
So what do you do besides tattoo? We already talked about this. You like to paint?
Yeah, yesterday the day before yesterday, I was in Buffalo painting a mural in a lovely family's house of different illustrations from children's book that he had been reading to his grandkids and other kids in the family through the years. So they have a wall now dedicated to a whole bunch of the illustrations from the children's books. It was a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. You've got all your stuff online too. You're on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram and
Facebook,
all under artist Hoch,
Hoch.
Hoch. Artist Ho.
So we've known each other for what? Probably 9 years now.
Yeah, probably.
I met Heather, my wife, 9 years ago. And she's known you for longer.
Just
high
from
school.
being.
Yeah. Just being around.
Yep.
Just go to
Being
the
around
same-
Cafe Z.
The coffee shop. Yeah.
That coffee shop. There was a coffee shop somewhere, and we went there once in a while.
Spent way too much time on that place, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. You like your chai.
Yeah.
I like coffee.
But it was something to do. Cool.
Yeah.
I still go there once in a while if I.
It was a very creative outlet. Probably still is. I don't go anymore, but
Yeah.
I met Heather there, actually.
There you go. See,
Got engaged out on the front steps.
I actually got married there once.
You did, that's right.
That's even weirder. Yeah, I've been married a couple times. Married at Cafe. Married in Maui once. That was really nice. Married in Maui, divorced in New Hampshire. That's true. That's a true fact. That's weird, but
It's not that weird.
yep.
So you knew Marilyn Manson a few years back.
Back in the late '80s. Yeah, I lived in Fort Lauderdale, and sometimes he'd be in the house.
Cool.
One night, me and a guy named Greg, which you call Miles High. I don't know if I remember, but we went and played guitar, all three of us, and made up stuff in a empty racquetball court. It was like one of the highlights of my life. It's just three different musicians, three different ideas, three different everything, but just in this huge echo chamber was very interesting. And if it could have been recorded, I'd probably have some money.
But you don't have money because you're an artist.
Right.
Uh,
'Cause,
you got enough to survive.
like they told me in school, if you got to have something to fall back on, you can't possibly make it through life being an artist. That just doesn't happen.
That's not true.
That's not true. It's the opposite of that.
So is that
If you don't want it to happen, it won't happen.
right? What's your advice to kids growing up?
Do what you love and don't tell people that you can't do it.
That's a great message.
That's it.
Very deep, Doug.
It's not really that deep. Don't be afraid to be yourself.
That's good advice.
Yeah, it's that simple. Because it seems like everybody wants to tell you that you can't. Oh man, you gotta, get a job at the mill because you can't make any money painting there, buddy.
So walk us through Old Farts right from the beginning.
Well, Old Farts is an idea I came up with, I don't know, 6-7 years ago now. And started as just making little comic strippies, and I was like, man, this would make a great animated cartoon. It's just it's just basically old people being old, and it's funny. I know old people might not think it's that funny, but us middle-aged and younger people thinks it's hilarious because old people do awesome things. Just the way just watching them go and sit down is a whole event in itself.
Do you think
and getting up, every part of it is a struggle.
Do you think it's as hilarious for them as it is for us to watch other old people?
I think so.
Yeah.
And now there's, the baby boomers are now 70s plus, so it's time to get this Old Farts TV show, maybe movie thing going here. I've got a few sponsors, and in the next week or so, I should have most of my stuff so I can actually start animating, which has taken quite a few years because it's not a cheap investment. Plus, I got to, have money saved so I can sit there and draw every day for 12 hours.
Right.
So I figured in like 6 months, once I get the stuff, and if I could sit down for 6 months, I would have at least a 20-minute pilot so I could go and sell it to the Lionsgate Films or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Which will happen.
You can find that stuff online too, right?
The Old Farts?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have my own Facebook.com/Old Farts. Or Old Farts. Just do a search and
Same with YouTube.
It's only on Facebook, though.
Don't you have stuff on YouTube?
I do have stuff on YouTube, yes.
Probably just search it.
Yeah,
Old Farts.
just like old
Doug Ho, H-O,
sketches,
CH.
concept ideas. Because I consider myself the concept artist.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself because I like coming up with making up stuff, creating.
So it's not just on paper. You have great ideas for. I like the animation thing, the idea of it.
And Tony's actually
creating a whole world.
The first pilot of Old Farts. Mr. Tony Levesque here actually helped me, and we brainstormed for a couple weeks and a couple of different things. And I'm still it's still the whole is based on what we discussed that day.
Character development.
At least the first couple minutes.
Voices.
Yeah, we got voices. We got people picked out for that. That'll actually be happening soon. You might have to be involved with that, and we'll have to get people over here and
Might have to
do the whole. Once I get the program, it'll tell me exactly what to do, and then
right
because you got to do all the voice stuff, and then you animate to that because it shows a track, so I can make the mouth go. La, rah, rah, oh, people. They lean up against a window and their fingers scrape down it. But it's going to be a big endeavor because I'm going for
big.
Yeah, it's not just going to be the characters sitting there and just the mouth moving, and it's going to be more like Pixar meets Bugs Bunny kind of.
I think if people go online and look up what you've done already for it, it sells itself.
I want it detailed. I want a lot of action going on. So you have to watch this. You'll have to watch it several times to see all the stuff that actually was happening. Right. There'll be stories behind the stories from, animals doing stuff. The cats. One family has cats, like 100 and some cats that live in their house. So there's always cats when they're focusing on them.
Excited.
I'm excited too. It's almost like you're waiting for like when you're a kid, you're waiting for Christmas. It's kind of the same thing when I get that stuff. It's like, so So you people around the area, you might not see me for like 6 months. If I disappear, it's what I'm doing.
So your job, technically, being an artist, is fun for you. So
Yeah.
what do you do?
I couldn't imagine doing anything else.
What do you do for fun other than that? I know you like to drink beer. We've had a few beers together.
I love good beers. I love good single malt scotches. I like really good wines. I can't afford it most of the time, but when I can, there's something about drinking really good wine it's like it just makes you feel good.
On top of the buzz, there's something else there. There's another layer.
It's hard to explain. It's like
yeah.
It's different than drinking beer.
Right.
It has more of a refined.
You feel classy.
Yeah, maybe you feel classy when you're not.
All you unclassy people out there,
yes,
just get a bottle of wine. You'll be all set.
Yeah, it takes you there.
I like good beer too. Well, I haven't told anybody outside, my immediate circle of friends, but I've been sober for over a month now from alcohol.
Yeah, congratulations. That's good.
I don't know if it's a congratulations because
you miss it.
No, I don't. Honestly, and I thought that I would. And I take breaks here and there. I'll go a week off or whatever when it starts to get out of control. I love beer. I love the taste of it. I'm not so much a liquor drinker. Liquor gets me in trouble. I don't know how to gauge it. Beer, you can always count the cans.
Yeah.
Or you get that bill at the end of the night. But I've enjoyed this past month of being sober, and I think I'm going to keep it, which...
That's cool.
Dean Richards will not like hearing that because I've spent a lot of money in Barkeeter.
Which is...
He's given me a lot of free beers, though. I bet I've had more free beers there than
that's
paid
good.
beers. But
free beers are good, as long as it's,
Well, we used to play a lot of music there. It wasn't free.
True.
I guess.
Yeah, you guys played there a lot.
So have you.
Yeah, well, once or twice.
Yeah. I always enjoy coming out to see you play.
Yeah, I'm different.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I get lost, and once I start getting confused, it turns into porno. It's really true. Some people get nervous and black out. I get nervous, and everything turns into stuff I can't say on the air. Filth. We can swear on this, right?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh my God! All my songs turn into cocks and pussies, vaginas. I sing about it's just bad, and I have no control. It just gets worse. I can't stop, and everybody's laughing, and it makes me go even harder.
That's your thing, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Again, that's why I enjoy coming out to see you.
But I think I'm comfortable because then I'm making people laugh, and I guess that's what it's all about.
I notice too when you go out and play, you never follow it up. You'll go out and do a gig and have fun, and then you won't do music again for 6 months. And I think that's your problem with music. I think you need to keep the ball rolling once you get on that, and then you'll be able to gauge a little more of what works and what doesn't. Like a comedian, like a stand-up comedian, they don't get good unless they go out and do it a lot.
But that goes back to the commitment thing. Like, see, I'm
right.
My job, which isn't a job, I don't just go to work at 7 a.m, come back at 4, and then that's it.
Right.
My job is when I get up, I'm creating until I go to sleep.
It's your persona.
So I got to concentrate on that, and creating it musically is a different.
It's a different art.
Like I don't focus 100% on that, but I do it because it's a part of my creative process. Every single day, there's very few days where I don't at least play the guitar for 5 minutes, we'll say. It's just like sometimes before a tattoo comes, I'll play my guitar, turn up loud, and have my own little rock concert for a couple minutes, and then they come in the door, and you're like, woohoo, ready to go. I just did a lead solo in front of 8,000 people.
On your couch.
Yeah. All by myself.
So
neighbors probably hear it sometimes. Probably go, oh my God.
When I met you, you were in your 40s and very active guy.
Yeah.
You coach track.
Yeah, I coached track for 6 years over at the
always
Beavers.
on your bike. And
Used to ride bikes for many years.
I always thought that was because you're older and you're like, I got to stay fit. But you've been active your whole life.
Yeah. Except until recently, but that's because every time I work out now, I like pull a muscle so you have to learn. I'm struggling learning how to stay fit because you can't do what you used to do because you're going to get hurt.
Right.
So everything has to be very slow and gradual because when you get older, you deteriorate, your tendons don't stick to the muscles the right way. And
joints don't work the way they used to.
And it can just be standing up. You might just rip something.
So what do you do now for exercise?
I do a lot of armband stuff, bands, because you can stretch it. And
Interesting.
Doesn't pull. But I seem to be having success with that as opposed to just going in and picking up weights. Oh, I'm doing 50-pound curls and, so doing, there goes your bicep.
You get out on the bike much? I mean, winter is still
No, I haven't, but
here.
I'm planning on, delving with the idea of riding the bike every day again.
Mm-hmm.
But I think last year I don't think I rode it once.
Really?
But maybe I needed a year off.
You used to ride it from Krogan all the way to Lowville and back.
Yeah, I rode to here once from Boston.
Holy cow.
That was a nice little trip. I was training for a 24-hour race. So I went on my bicycle fully packed up. I made it weigh 80 pounds. I had to pack on just so it was hard. And left Boston and went up through Vermont and New Hampshire through the Adirondacks Mountains. So it was a tough thing.
That's crazy.
And rode back.
I get proud of myself for exercising for 20 minutes on the stationary bike.
But after you do that, though, man, you're riding your bikes for 24 hours is actually not that hard because you're so used to. If you spend a day doing it.
So you hunt a lot too.
Yeah, I enjoy hunting and fishing. That's one of the things when you said other things I do besides drawing. I love being in a kayak, catching fish. That's probably my newest best thing now. Nothing like catching a 40-inch northern pike in a 12-foot kayak with getting the shit splashed out of you. You can't keep them because when you're kayaking, they constantly splashing you, unless it's really nice out. But seems like the water's pretty cold when it gets splashed on you. Yeah. And you got cameras, and I like taking photography is a fun thing of mine too. But I consider fishing and hunting, that's creative stuff too.
Yeah.
Like you don't just, I'm not one of those hunters that goes to a tree and say, oh, I'm going to sit in a tree and the deer come and you feed them at the bottom.
Right.
I prefer hunting and like stalking them or actually hunting.
Still hunting.
Right. Like I don't like to shoot. It's very rare. I don't think I've only shot one deer in my life that wasn't running. Maybe. They're all running, and after a while you get good at it and you hit them. When you're younger, you kind of shoot a lot of trees and ground. And
that's my problem. I get too excited. I finally see a buck and I freaking out.
So I don't get excited at all, but I can't stop shooting. If it's moving, my lever action goes off pretty quickly. 45, 70. I like to shoot a gun that you feel it kick when you shoot it.
Makes reality set in.
Yep.
So you like to hunt and fish. That's your fun outside
Camping,
of work.
I'm an outdoor guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just go for walks because
it's nature.
It's like some people take medicine. All you gotta do is go walk in the woods.
I always breathe better when
let's go outside. Take some breath. Take some air.
So we've had kind of a hell of a winter this year. I've seen worse, but
much worse.
What day is it? Oh, it's March 1st, actually.
Yep.
It's just 55 degrees, I think, yesterday. We're supposed to get some snow.
Yeah, it felt good.
Tonight.
Like 10 inches.
It sucks.
For lava.
This always happens, too. It's so depressing this time of year. You're waiting for spring, and you get a little taste of it, and Mother Nature just kicks you in the
But it'd be
nuts.
so much better if it snowed vaginas, though. It'd be like, geez, look at all the vaginas.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So I must be getting nervous because I brought the vaginas.
Yep.
No, I just thought it was funny.
So can we talk about the TV show?
Old farts?
No. The one you were supposed to be on.
Yes, I was supposed to be on Skin Wars season 4, but so far it hasn't been re-signed
You've been waiting
by the networks.
a year now.
I was originally supposed to leave in August 2016
Oh wow.
and film a couple months reality show, chance to win $100,000. I was planning on winning, doing body painting. That's also another page on my Facebook. Going back to Marilyn Manson, he was one of the first people I drew on his whole body. That was the first body painting I ever did, was on Marilyn Manson.
All I can picture is that video where he's wearing the female
Yeah, I know.
bodysuit.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. Not that I really remember much. And he played drums.
Played drums. I didn't know
He was
that.
playing drums. It was like a something. But
Something.
he was playing drums, and he was a pretty good drummer.
Yeah.
At least I thought so back then.
What do you think of his music?
Never really liked it much. He was more of a showman. Like before he was it was all about the
Shock
you know
rock.
who could
Yeah.
shock. It was totally him and Trent Reznor were buddies, and
Yeah.
Trent Reznor's kind of the opposite. He just kind of hides in the corner.
Introverted.
Yep, he's about 5'1" or something.
Oh, you
I've seen him before, but I probably shouldn't say that because he's probably 5'10". I don't know, but he looked like 5'1" when I saw him,
with the hands.
and I know he was shorter than Marilyn Manson. With the hands, yeah.
Yeah. So where was this, in Florida? Fort Lauderdale?
Yeah, that's going way back. It was in the 80s. I was down
Crazy.
there till Hurricane Andrew hit, and shortly after that, I moved back up to Boston. I was only down there a couple years, and I worked on and off in Boston for almost 20 years, traveling around the country doing caricatures and airbrush T-shirts and airbrush whatever you could airbrush. So I pretty much went to almost every state doing the entertaining college students and being at, you name it.
Being Doug Ho.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite place to visit?
I like the mountains in North Carolina.
Mhm.
I don't know why. They have a good feel to them. Anywhere in Maine is good. I like going everywhere. Probably my favorite place I've ever been to is in British Columbia, Vancouver.
Really?
I liked it out there. Close to the ocean, huge mountains, incredible scenery, nice people, beautiful place. But it's in Canada. I can't just go hang out in Canada and move there. 'Cause I'm not
could.
Canadian. Well, I could, but I'm not going to now.
Too late.
After the old fart stuff, see what happens with that. Hopefully I'll have a little bit of cash, and ideally I'd have an animation studio right here in Lewis County. I'd
Really?
have it here. Oh, yeah.
Even in the winter.
Yeah.
Does winter bother you?
No,
No?
not really.
Other than you can't drive the Cadillac.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather, but when you go other places it's warmer, it's not the same. I don't know. I guess I've done it, and the air is different. The whole energy is different. There's good energy in upstate New York. People around here that hate it, they should. I mean, a lot of people that leave, they come back. I did. I didn't think I'd ever move back to Lewis County. Being an artist, I'd be like, there's no chance. But luckily for, computers, and makes it so I could live in the middle of Alaska. And
Right. One thing I hate is when people, I don't know, from around here, it doesn't matter, when people say they can't stand it here. I get the winter thing, and I don't think people are allowed to be upset about the winter unless they've lived up here during the winter. When people come to visit, that's a whole different thing. Yeah, of course it's awful when you're not used to this. But when you live up here, especially spend your whole life, move if you don't like it. I think it's awesome up here.
So do I, or I wouldn't be here.
Right.
No, everybody also is always right where they want to be. But people, the opportunities aren't here. You come out of high school, you go to college, whatever. There's just not a lot to do you used to say there's not a lot to do in Buckhannon, West Virginia. There's not a lot to do in Lowell, New York.
But I think
That's why.
when you go and live in New York
But that
City,
might be a good thing. So we don't have,
Right.
like, I'm looking out Tony's window right now. I don't see another house. I see trees, a cornfield, trees,
There were 21
mountains.
deer crossing the road.
21
this
deer,
morning.
yeah. So I lived in the city all those years. If I looked out my window, I saw the other house beside me, which was about 3 feet, sometimes 6. Looked across the street. But here I can, like, you could
Stretch
you could
out.
be naked, walk around this house, and nobody would ever know it.
I was just before you got
I
here.
know. I knew you were. I could see you from a distance. It's very hairy. There's a lot of hair.
There's a gorilla in his house. Coming from you.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. What's that guy's? He's plays in all the cunts of the westerns. Sam Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
Like this,
That sounds like a good sarsaparilla.
yes. I'm gonna go get in my car now and go down to the store.
So if you had to move, if you were forced out of Lewis County,
North Carolina.
North Carolina, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, it's a. I mean, it's the same thing as British Columbia. It has really cool mountains, beautiful, and the ocean is pretty close.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to North Carolina on the coast, it's nice. South Carolina, just go right down. But you can go there for a couple, for a day trip. Like we here, to get to the ocean, it's going to take 6 hours, and then you're going to be, the other side in New Hampshire, which isn't too bad, but it's a lot easier if it's like an hour and a half, or an hour, or 45 minutes, or
Drive to the beach.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, you live in the city, they drive up here. Yo, I'm gonna go in the
Snowmobile.
Adirondacks.
Yeah.
So it's a cool place here.
I like it.
It's a good secret.
Yeah. Don't tell anyone.
I'm not. I came back because I like it here. I like the people. Everybody's.
For living up here, you'd think that everyone would be miserable, but they're really not.
Oh, well, so there are some, but it's not too
Oh,
bad.
That's in everywhere.
The miserable people get weeded out.
I used to be pretty miserable.
Yeah, you were.
You used to tell me.
Hey,
That's
Tony,
why-
what's up? Sucks. All this today just sucks.
You've known me for quite a while. That's why I like you, because you call me
Yeah.
out on my shit.
There you go.
That's a true friend when they can say, "Oh yeah, you're being a little bitch."
When you used to work at the coffee shop, I could walk in, I could tell within 2 seconds where Tony was.
Yeah.
And it usually wasn't in a beautiful spot. Especially if there was a bunch of teenagers there asking for
I hate kids.
certain things. And I know you hate
Not-
kids,
not
even though
all
you
of
have an
them.
awesome one.
Not all of them, for
But
sure.
some
Yeah.
of them.
But the ones that, one thing I hate more than anything is a high school kid, and we've all been there, that think they know something. And the older you get to realize, or the more you realize that they don't know anything,
No, it's true.
anything at all.
They know nothing. Well, coaching all those years, it was, yeah. There's a
guess-
lot of know nothing.
It's the attitude. It
Yep.
drives me nuts.
And they have no idea yet, as I didn't when I was younger. That you have no idea what it's really like out there.
A lot of it too is jealousy, because I wish I had the free time and ability to sit in a coffee shop all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They
Well, if you're an artist,
they got it made. Teenagers have it made.
Yeah.
And when they complain, I'm no, stop complaining. You got it made.
Yeah, but they don't see it. When you're a
They'll-
teenager,
they
you
won't
didn't think
see
that.
They won't see it that way till many
I
years
didn't
later.
like being a teenager
I didn't either. I hated it.
because I couldn't be myself.
Right.
It was a
So-
controlled environment.
Adopt the Doug Ho way of living and
Mm-hmm.
be yourself.
Yeah.
I think since I got the job at the radio station, my
Yeah, you're
life
more
is-
yourself.
yeah.
You're way. I can see it in your eyes. You're happier.
I
You're
love,
like, ah.
I love my life.
Hey, Tony. Used to be, hey, Tony.
I've got
He's
it made.
smoothed out, man.
I've got it made too, but I've worked for it. I got a beautiful wife who's smart,
Yeah.
intelligent.
Yes, you do.
and
She's very cool.
She's a go-getter.
Your daughter's wicked awesome.
She is. She'll be 4.
I know
4
it.
this month. Crazy. She's a wild, wild thing.
So you really like being the radio guy over there, huh?
Love it.
Yeah.
You know, country music.
Whoever would have thought Tony LeVec would be?
I never thought it.
I never thought either. And all of a sudden you're like, yeah. And I was like, that made sense. Yeah, that's good.
And Dana just joked with me because Dana worked there for 25 years or more and was leaving. He said, "Oh, you ought to go try out for it." And I laughed immediately.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
And then thought about it overnight. I'm like,
Yeah,
I
why
could
not?
do that. I don't know modern country at all. I still know way less than I should. But I said I'd go give it a try. I was very nervous because when I got there, the owner, Bill, just comes out and he said, Lindsay was, the office manager sitting there, and Bill hands me a sheet of paper. He goes, "Here, read this." And they're both just staring at me. He goes, "This is what you're going to have to do." So I read the paper. I didn't do great at all. And he goes, "Okay, that's great."
Okay, that's great. We'll call you soon, buddy.
And I remember a lot of people telling me those first couple weeks because I was trained and started by myself in 2 weeks, which for radio, I knew a little bit about production, recording, being in music for so long, but it was difficult to get it all down and because there's two different aspects of it: the recording, making commercials, all the production, and then live.
Yeah.
And having to introduce songs. And a lot of people told me a few months later, "Oh, when you started, you sounded so nervous." Which I was.
This is Tony LeVec.
Took a while to get the swing of it too, because I had to tell myself to shut up and just play music. Keep the... But I'm a lot happier now.
Yeah, it shows.
So
So am I.
I always had this thing of not wanting to learn new music because I like what I like.
Yeah.
People like what they like, and it's hard to venture out with music at all because I hate pop. Oh, I hate pop. But I had to do a lot of learning to start at the radio station because it's basically pop country until I could earn my way and play what I want.
So I always have been very, I like opera. I like bluegrass. I love bluegrass. I don't have that. Like pop, I enjoy that. Gangster rap, anything.
Have you always been that way?
No. When I was younger, it was it had to be heavy metal.
See, I think that's the point. Once you reach a certain age and you open your mind up a little
Yeah.
to other things,
Yeah.
even
it was.
TV shows and movies. That Heather is big into horror movies, and I
same
always hated scary movies. They didn't do anything for me. I like comedies, but now I like watching things that are a little twisted.
Yeah, there's some good twisted stuff out there. I spent a lot of time watching movies. This new movie just came out, the show, The Greatest Showman on Earth.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's a musical. This is going to be horrible. That thing, it was awesome. I don't know
Really?
if you saw it. Did you see it?
No,
I enjoyed it.
My friend Fred
He's
went,
like, it's the worst thing I've ever seen.
and he went
I
with
thought
his
it was
wife
awesome.
because she really wanted to see it, and he didn't know it was a musical.
I didn't either.
And he goes, when they first broke out into song.
That's what I did. I
Oh,
went,
man.
oh, it's going to be a long night. But it was good.
Yeah.
This one woman, she was singing, and oh my God, she was on the stage. It was very good.
Heather
Done well.
went to my parents' house before I got out of work yesterday, so I had a couple hours here by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we've diverged movie-wise and TV show. I'll watch the same thing over, and I love comedies, and she can't stand to watch something a second time. Understandable. That's different. So I put on a movie that I didn't think that she would like. Very futuristic, twisted, messed up movie. It's called Mute. It's on Netflix. It just came out yesterday on Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Alexander Skarsgård is in it. Paul Rudd plays a serious role. I tell you what, it's one of the best movies I've seen in a long time. Just
I never heard of it.
crazy. I love futuristic movies, especially like 10 years after they come out, so you can kind of see.
Yeah. This is now.
I don't know. You watch a lot of futuristic movies from the 80s and we just laugh at them, like how we thought that's what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
Back to the Future. You look at Back to the Future, the second movie was set a couple years ago now, and it's way different. We don't have hoverboards and flying cars.
I think someday they will, though.
I think so too. But it's hard to
Eventually
judge
figure out this
what the future's
magnetic
gonna...
thing, and it'll be like, ooh, that's what we have to do.
I think we get so excited because technology seems to really ramp up. I mean, look at the difference between 200 years ago and now.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Just in technology.
well, look at the difference. When I was a kid, I remember when it was just black and white TVs. And I can remember picking up the phone and hearing the neighbors talk, the party phones. And then we got a little cassette player, and I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. Then you got a color TV, and you're like, oh my God.
Do you find it's hard to keep up now that you're older?
It's easy.
Yeah. Do you like keeping up?
I do.
Yeah. I do too. I have
Like
I have to force myself to, though.
The animation stuff right now, if I would have, this kind of technology even just 5 years ago would cost $50,000 just for the thing. And now it's like anybody, if you wanted to, you could get this now for relatively cheap and make an animated cartoon. That's how like Simpsons are made. They're all made with a simple program. It's not that hard if you know how to draw.
See, I'm always afraid.
I think it's very easy. It's just a time thing. It's
I'm always afraid to invest in to buy like a new camera or a new phone, because it seems like by the time I get it and have it for a little bit, the next one will come out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
By the time it wears out, I'll be so far behind. But that's what's difficult with technology, and it's so expensive. To buy a new phone is $600 easily, and you're gonna get not the brand new one. You'll get the second. But.
Yeah, I mean, making this Old Farts movie, once I get the software here, by the time I finish with this thing, it'll be, almost obsolete already.
Yeah.
It'll be like, look at you had to do all that, and all you had to do is go.
Well, you look at the Pixar movies and all of them, it takes 5 years to make the movie or more, sometimes 10 years. By the time it comes out,
it's.
I'm still impressed, though, every new animated movie that comes out. It just blows my mind.
Well, hopefully we'll be sitting here in the next couple of years and we can talk about
It probably won't be here.
The greatest movie of all time. Old Farts, the movie.
Doug's Mansion up on Tug Hill.
Starring Tony Levesque as Elmer.
See, I can never be famous with the last name like I've got.
Tony Levesque. I can't either. That's why
I can't even spell it like it sounds because people still screw that up.
Levesque.
Yeah.
I like that better. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Levesque.
No, I'll pass.
Live and in color.
I don't have a cool last name like Hoch.
Yeah, okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's Douglas Hoch.
Do you ever go by Douglas?
No.
No. Have you always hated it or just indifferent?
No, I didn't care. Middle name's Anthony.
Yeah.
Douglas Anthony. Oh.
I always hated Anthony.
Who was Anthony in your life? Some bad kid?
Me.
Well, your middle name's Anthony?
My.
Oh, your real name is Anthony? It's
Tony
okay.
is short for Anthony.
Yeah. Hey, that's my middle name, man.
Yeah. We must be brothers.
I guess so. Anthony and Anthony.
Twins.
I never thought about it. Yeah, Tony. Well, some people
I
just
don't
name
think Tony is that great either. I never said, it's just the better of the two, I guess.
So that would have been, if I was an Anthony, I'd want to be called like Anth. Yo, Anth.
No. I hate when people go by Ant.
Or Antonio.
See, that sounds.
Antonio Levesque.
You can't have a French name and a Spanish first name.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Antonio Levesque.
I'm gonna have you introduce everyone on my podcast now.
Yeah, you should.
I should.
I
think this is going all right for a first episode.
Yeah, just sitting here.
It's relaxing.
Watching these old trucks go by.
I do love this room, the Christmas room. It's
good.
It's a good morning room.
It's a peaceful room.
And you get the sun all day.
If you were a painter, this would be your painting room.
It would.
Because you got the light.
It's always
natural
bright,
light.
man.
That's probably north right there, right?
Yep.
So, be better if it was south facing.
I don't have any windows south facing because the garage is out there.
See, if you live up here in the Arctic, you want your house the windows to face south because there's always going to be warmth from that way.
Yeah, this room isn't very warm in the winter. It's the furthest from the furnace, so I don't. That's why it's the Christmas room. We put the Christmas tree up out here, and shut the doors so the cats can't get at it. But because we got the French doors with the windows, you could see the Christmas tree. You could see that Christmas is around the corner, but it's not in your face.
Sometimes I miss having cats.
You do? These
But
are not
I'm
my
allergic
cats.
to them.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
How are you doing
Well,
today?
as long as I don't, if I touch them and touch my face, it's not good.
Right. The one cat we got has got such long hair,
Yeah.
and he's fat.
But if I have cats and I'm around them, I guess I get immune to it. But
You get used to it.
if I touch your cat and then touch for 2 hours, my eyes will start itching.
Yeah. You okay here now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm not touching a cat.
Yeah.
Although if I touch my face, but I'm all right so far.
So far.
I am not itching right now. So actually, when I'm doing the old farts, if anybody's interested and they think they have a good old person voice,
Or ideas.
hit me up on Facebook and say, hey.
Or if they got money they want to throw your way.
Yeah, or money.
Want to sponsor a
Lots of that, yeah.
project. I miss doing all that stuff. We should get together more.
Well, I'm going to probably buy at least the computer this weekend.
Yeah.
And then I need 2 other things, and I'm really close to getting that. So within this month, I should have all my stuff. I've said this before, but should have it all going. Doing lots of tattooing. People getting their tax money back. Wanting tattoos. Come see me doing that.
This is your busy season then.
I actually might try out to be on Skin Masters, or whatever it is, Ink Masters.
I think you'd do well on a reality show.
Yeah, I think I would do pretty good because I'm not affected by silly stuff.
And you're entertaining without having to be crazy. I think a lot of and that's where reality.
Well, hopefully
TV
I can
went
entertain people
downhill.
with just my talent, which is, to me, it's just the way I am. And everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe you can paint all that in 6 hours. But
is
to me, it's
impressive.
just like, like if you're a guy that goes out and does drywall all day, you can do that like it's nothing. That's, I'd go out and do drywall all day. It'd be a bad mess. It'd be done, but I wouldn't want to live in that. Hey, look at the 2-inch gap. That's awesome.
Doug Ho drywall. It sucks.
It sucks.
Don't have any
Unless
money.
unless you want that plaster carving that people do sometimes, I could do that for you.
You think
Won't be
you'd be
cheap,
too
though.
much of a perfectionist if you did drywall? It would take too long.
No, I've done it before.
Yeah. You're just
It.
let's get.
I
this
was a
shit done.
perfectionist. You got to let it dry and sand it, and
Mhm.
let it dry and sand it again. Let it dry and sand it again. Eventually, it comes out pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't take enough time on it. That's for sure. Like, see, you can get away with it in your place because you got little,
This needs it.
sneaky line cover uppers.
This is a this is a big trailer, but it's still a trailer. Everything in
Yeah.
it is so
I love the.
chintzy. I mean,
one
it
of
can
the-
all be replaced, and we'll get there eventually. We
It
got
was
a
a
good
great
deal on it.
architectural genius to come up with the idea to put the sunlights in up here with the plywood over it. That's awesome.
It used to be
Let so much
sunlight.
sunlight in.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story behind this. Remember the tornado a couple years ago?
Oh yeah,
It came through
yeah. It did come through here close.
like between our house and the neighbor's house.
Nice.
It tore part of the roof off
Of this place?
of this place. They had to replace the roof. That's why the sunlights are not in there, and it's plywood over top because they had to put a new roof on.
Ah. So they just said to hell with those. We don't need those.
Well, imagine how difficult it is to put them in after. Yeah. I got to do something up there. It's just
Everybody
two
has them. They
gaping
just
holes in
leak
the
anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. So at least they replaced the roof before we got it. At least the tornado came through before
could-
we were here.
You could have me come over and paint it so it looks like you're looking up in there, but have it, like your wife's into horror stuff. Make it look like there's something coming staring down at you or something.
Yeah. In the Christmas room.
Yeah. Oh, there. You could put like Santa Claus's feet like he's coming down the chimney.
Yeah.
Or you could have all the reindeer looking over the edge, looking down in.
That'd be cool. I'm up for it. How much is that going to run me?
I don't know. A couple grand.
This is why Doug Ho doesn't have a job. He
Yes.
charges a couple grand
That's right.
for a couple hours worth of work. Good for
Usually,
you.
whatever, $100 an hour usually.
I am
Pretty
envious.
much going.
I love that you get to do whatever you want to do and survive doing that.
Yeah. But you can't just, sit at home and wait for the phone to ring. You got to
go out and get it.
Like sometimes if you look at my stuff, I have to promote myself, and it's a hard thing to do because you're like, if somebody says, "Hey, can you do this?" I can't say, "Yeah, I guess I can do that." I think, I'm pretty sure I can do that. You have to be the opposite of that.
I
Say,
can do the
no
best
problem.
job you ever saw.
Heck yeah, I'll paint that right up. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll come in at 8 and leave by 4.
So you're an early riser too.
Always.
Yeah.
From the military, maybe.
Yeah.
No, because I milked cows for many years, and you have to get up early. But I just wake up early no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just who I am.
That's good.
There's no reasoning.
Get more done. I'm so much more productive in the morning.
Yes.
Those cats are starting to get to you.
Yeah, I like getting up and, like, if I got a big project, creating something, when you first wake up, it's like, get right on it if you can. And it goes effortlessly.
Yeah.
Throughout the day, stuff goes in your head, and then oh no, I gotta go fix my left brake, it's squeaking. And then all of a sudden, I gotta paint a flamingo dancing in a bowl of jelly. You never know what you'll have to do.
You must get a lot of odd requests when it comes to tattoos and art.
Yeah.
In general.
Sometimes I talk them out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want that on you don't want that on your arm.
What's the most common tattoo?
I've been doing a lot of flowers.
Yeah. On ladies' ankles.
On everything.
Everything.
Flowers and flowers.
Have you ever been grossed out doing a tattoo?
Not really.
You've probably seen it all anyway.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. When I'm doing that, it's just like body painting. I'm not sitting there. I got
checking out the landscape.
Yeah, a
You're focused on your
nude
art.
model standing here, and I'm painting on her. I'm not thinking, about the nude model standing there. I'm thinking about
Your art.
the lines, and I have to look at that and paint on there and make it so I can't even tell it's a person when I'm done.
Right.
See, it's very challenging. That's why I like doing it.
Yeah.
If anybody ever wants to be to get painted, just
Yeah. Let's throw your
Get a hold
plugs
of me.
out there again too.
on my body painting, all one word by Doug Ho is right on Facebook also. So page just for that.
So if people look you up on Facebook, what's your profile picture? So it makes it a little easier.
I change it a lot.
Oh,
It's
never
usually
mind.
something to do with tattooing it's because when you're on Facebook, you gotta, if you just let it go, you kind of just disappear.
Yeah.
But if you stay on it and I'll show up in people's news feeds. I almost have the maximum amount of people you can have as friends, which on Facebook is 5,000. So I'm only like less than 30 away from 5,000. So if you guys want to
Get in on the ground
get
floor.
on the only 5,000 people, you got probably a couple more days.
That's awesome.
Friend me up.
I find I feel like if I post too much on Facebook, people are like, "Oh, that's annoying. Stop posting so much." But at the same time, I have to get my stuff out there.
Well, I'm on Instagram. Instagram is very cool. Like I'm friends.
I can't get into Instagram.
I'm friends with
I
like
tried.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. I see what he does during the day. This is cool stuff.
Yeah.
Just go through any Bubba Wallace. He's races number 43 for Richard Petty, and he posts stuff on Instagram. It's just like they're just normal people.
Mm-hmm.
He plays drums and stuff. Dale Earnhardt Jr. likes to ride his bicycle. I didn't know that. Him and Jimmy Johnson and another dude, they ride their bicycle. Like good road cycles, and they're cycling. Who knew that?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought he just drove car and drank beer and got drunk and drove car again.
Spaces those out a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what you think. You don't realize that they're normal people. He Dale Earnhardt Jr. was even ski joring, where you on a you get towed behind dogs that are pulling you. It showed him doing that. Good friend of mine over here in Beaver Falls, Alex Barrett. He's like a ski joring master.
Huh.
He travels around and races, and he's a pretty cool guy too.
So life's all about getting enough money, or at least a
Yeah.
bare minimum, so that you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what life
And
is.
if you can make money doing that, then you're Doug Ho.
And life is also about finding out who you really are, because you
You don't
really
know.
don't know. You come out of
Yeah.
high school, all you are is like, I was good at wrestling and
That's what the
And I
shame
could-
is in high school
and I
too.
like
Is
cars,
they
and I
expect
like
you
cars.
at 16 or 15 years old to know what you want to do with the rest of your life. Which really, if you do, that's quite a bonus. If you really know who you are and what you want to do at such a young age, you can focus so much of your life on making that happen. But if you don't, you're at a disadvantage. You
Yeah.
got to go find that out. But sometimes that's fun too, figuring out who you are.
The years I used to travel to colleges and draw, I would spend 5 to 10 minutes with every kid and draw them, and you talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask a lot of them, what are you going to do when you get out of college? And I would say about 70% of them always said, I have no clue. And they're in college
Right.
for 4 years at
Where you're paying to
big schools.
to be educated.
They have no clue. They might want to be a psychiatrist or maybe a nurse or
I'm
me,
35
that's
years
very-
old. I still don't know what I want to do.
yeah. So I knew in 4th grade.
Really?
Yep, over at Lowellville before I moved to Bee River. I was like, yep, I'm going to be a cartoonist. That was it.
So
Or an
people,
artist. So yeah.
people can find you on Facebook, Doug Ho, DOUGHOCH.
That's right.
And on Instagram, same thing?
Artist.
Artist.
HOCH.
Okay.
Although if you
Artist Ho.
search Doug, it'd probably show up. But
Yeah. You've got a YouTube channel.
no,
You don't?
I used to. It needs to be redone. There's a lot of old stuff on there I need to act. There's some really bad music and guitar playing and embarrassing
I love it.
stuff. But whatever. That was me at the time, and
Do you do
Got it out
Twitter at all?
no.
No.
I did a couple times, but never. I should get back into it because it's a good thing for this stuff, especially.
I had to force myself. But it's not bad. I like it.
I like the Instagram because it's just
Just pictures.
you don't get
You're an artist.
Yeah,
So
you
of
don't get
course you're gonna
the I lost my dog today, and the
All the
bowl of
bullshit
soup
that goes
was
along with
dumped
it.
on my head, and my boyfriend left me, and
Which
I
is
got-
entertaining if there's a picture or video to go
Yeah.
with it.
And this guy got arrested today, and
Yeah.
don't do
fan
those
of all
drugs out there, people. Come on,
Yeah. Stick
Do
with
what
the
you do.
alcohol. Be
It's- I mean,
creative.
just be you. Don't. It has not about alcohol or anything. Just be you.
I heard a thing the other day, and I've really taken it to heart. Try to, when it comes to social media, you should. How did it go again? People are really enjoying listening to this. You should never consume more than you put out. So don't sit on your phone on Facebook all day and not put anything out there. You should always. It should be equal. You should consume only as much as you put out. If you sit there and consume, you're not doing anything for yourself. You're just watching TV.
Now, see, I just saw this, but this whole time we've been doing this, I should have had it.
Oh, live
We should have
streaming?
been live on Instagram,
Yeah.
but I didn't even think about that.
Well, next time.
That was silly.
Thanks for being my first guest, Doug.
Yes.
I wanted
It's
somebody
my
that I
pleasure.
knew that I could shoot the shit with for an hour. It's been almost an hour. Yeah. You want to try to make it to an hour? We've got a little less than 2 minutes. You want to go live on Instagram for the last 2 minutes of
No, not now.
you lazy.
It is.
Hopefully,
So, because I don't want to sit here and hold it, and when you watch the stuff and it's moving, it
Yeah.
makes people not watch it.
that's annoying.
You gotta
Well,
have
next time we'll bring the stand out here, and you can
on
live
Instagram
stream
though.
this.
Unfortunately, we'd probably have to hire a model sit between us
Yeah,
with some cleavage
some
showing.
people will look at
Oh,
it.
we'll have 5,000 viewers in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I got to get a cool poster for behind us then.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Hmm.
Little
Nudie poster.
or if have it so the woman sitting here with a little skirt on.
Hmm.
So, oh man, there'll be 10,000 viewers.
Not the ones we want.
No, but you'll get your name out there. Hey, I was watching this guy talking with the other guy, and there was a girl sitting there.
It was awesome.
I don't know what the guy said.
There was a girl there, and
Yeah.
then there was something
So
else.
any girls
I
out there
forget.
want to be on next time Tony and I I'm just kidding. But that's the way the world is though.
It
It's
is.
sad.
It's our attention span. It sucks. It
Yep.
really does.
all these cool things out there. Everybody wants to turn it into the sex world.
It's a very primal thing. And I think that's one thing that sucks is we advance as a species and we want to erase that whole primal thing.
Yep.
But it's there. It's always there, and people forget that we're just really smart apes.
Yeah.
And we're
stuck
not as
walking around.
sophisticated as what we think we are.
That is true.
That's why psychology is so hard, because they forget to put that in there. Oh, by the way, we're still just monkeys. We have urges and primal
Look at the dolphins.
survival. It's all about survival.
Look at dolphins. They don't drive around boats and submarines.
No.
They don't have fancy vehicles to go outside of the
Thank
ocean.
God.
Could you imagine?
That'd be
Oh,
weird.
there goes a cool dolphin.
Nice,
That would be kind of cool though.
nice vehicle, Flipper.
Because the dolphins coming up to us would be like us going into outer space.
Right.
But unfortunately, dolphins didn't get any means of,
Good thing they don't
Fingers
have
and
hands.
feet.
Yeah.
because they'd probably exterminate us all quickly.
Yep.
Because we'd be like the roaches of the world.
Hey, we made it past an hour.
Holy crap.
I know. Well,
Holy Jesus.
I got to get ready for work, and so do you.
Yeah, I guess. I gotta
Some
do some tattooing today.
Tattoos. Good. Get a
that's all
hold of
I
Doug for some tattoos. He's available on Facebook. Look him up, Artist Ho, Doug Ho.
Yep. Facebook.com/artist Hoch. Artist HOCH. Instagram, Facebook. Anywhere else, probably.
And now, Tony and Other People podcast.
Yeah.
You can find him here probably once a month.
Yeah. You gotta start doing this more often.
Once a week, I'm aiming for. So,
Yeah.
people, stay tuned. I'll
Who's gonna be
doing
your
this-
next guest?
I don't know yet. I've got a few feelers out there, and whoever comes to me wants to do
Yeah.
it. If you want to be on the podcast, get a hold of me. I'm on Facebook. Well, you're obviously
I'll go
listening somewhere.
I'll go on Instagram, see if I can get one of these famous dudes to do this, maybe.
Yeah. I like the idea
That'd
of
be
having
cool getting,
local
like-
people, too, because
Just think if we get Dale Earnhardt Jr. to come here and sit here and do this with
I
us.
think that would be awesome.
When he goes,
I'm up
he'll
for
be
it.
up here sometime.
Yeah. All right.
Tony Stewart's always up here.
Look forward
Whatever.
to that. Doug Ho promises.
All right,
we'll
man.
see if he delivers.
Well, it's just an idea.
Thanks. Thanks for coming by, Doug. Seriously. You're a good friend.
Nice.
That was static.
Yes.
All right, see you next week.
All right, later.
Share this. Share the crap out of it. So
Yes,
that-
please share. And always remember.
Just always remember.
Yeah.
Try to if you
Always.
can.
Till
Till
stop
dementia
remembering,
sets
that's
in,
when it goes bad.
Always remember.
Just ask my grandpa. And remember, Old Farts be coming out soon. And
Look for everything Doug Ho on Facebook, Instagram.
because
and
if my
maybe,
Old
maybe
Farts,
Twitter. Maybe Twitter if I
if
can
Old
talk 'em into
Farts
it.
gets going good, I'm telling you, it'll be really good for Lewis County.
I think so too. All right. See you
All
next week.
Later.
Thanks for listening to Tony and Other People, a podcast. Questions, comments, concerns for Tony's overall well-being? Want to be part of the show? Find us on Facebook.